Hey, what's up, guys? Hope you guys are having a blessed day. This is going to be my what is it? My second live show. So, guys, I hope you guys enjoying it. I hope you guys are having a blessed day. Um, I want to just get into talking a little bit about some of these big free agency moves we've had. Right? Um, they had I mean it's been a lot. It's been a lot been going on, and we haven't even gotten to free agency yet, right? Just some signings, and you have to understand about these signings. They're not official. Both sides have agreed, and they have been put out there by a lot of these cases by both parties, the teams and the players. So they're pretty legit, right? But you have to also understand that it's nothing is official yet. Pen has not hit paper yet. Okay, so a lot of these moves are not official, but once they have been, you know, pretty much vetted out by both sides. They broadcast them; these networks broadcast them, and you could pretty much say they're legit, right? And I say that because right before I went on the air, I saw something flashed on my phone saying Deshaun Watson was traded to Philly for Jalen Hurts and some other players going to the Texans, right? And I was like, oh wow, because Deshaun is one of my subjects today. I'm definitely going to be um, talking about Deshaun today. So I was like, man, let me go check that out. Well, it was bogus. It wasn't real. So um, just be wary of those things. As much as I don't like a lot of the big media outlets, I use them to justify or to give credit to some of these moves, right? If the NFL Network don't have it, it's probably not true, right? Um, and a lot of you're on Twitter. I did a show, and that's one of the things also too. If you see it on the banner here, I'm going to be broadcasting some shows that I really want people to gravitate to really get on board on Wednesdays, right? A Trap B and his son. So it's A Trap and B. Okay, B is his son, right? They have a show just talking about the differences in your generations and how they see the world, how they see things, current events, things of that nature. Also on Thursdays, myself along with Charlotte and A Trap, we do shows talking about different um, things in our community, how we can help our community get better and grow, right? How we can deal with some issues in our community. Okay, so we just talk about different things, and we definitely try to just make it entertaining. Like to have fun, but we also want to be very informative. Okay, so that's on Thursdays, and on Sundays, I'm going to be doing um, my firearms channel. Um, it's me and A Trap are going to do it for the most part, but there may be times when I may, get another guest on, right? But it's pretty much me and A Trap and I should say, right? And we're going to be talking about firearms from a perspective of someone who's trying to get into firearms and not really in that community, versus someone like myself that's I'm not going to say an expert, but I'm definitely in the community and have a little knowledge and definitely want to bring people aboard. So yeah, that's something that we do on Sundays. Okay. Also on Sundays, I'm going to be doing lifestyle change videos, just talking about. I'm trying to help people to be comfortable with talking about health, talking about their body. We're not going to talk about all success stories. It's not going to be all roses, right? They're going to be situations where we're going to talk about failures, how we get past those failures, how we stay focused regardless to what's happening in our lives. So that's what that channel is about. I got a couple of interviews that I'm trying to line up. And so we just trying to have fun on the network. So um, check out those shows whenever you can, and just help us to grow, help us to have a good time, right? Informing each other, having fun with each other, and so just come on, check us out, okay? So today we're basically are going to talk about free agency, right? We're going to talk about how some of the moves. Let's look at some of the big moves that has occurred. And like I said, these moves, pen hasn't been put to paper on some of these things, but they have definitely been agreed upon, and they've been talked about and validated on both sides. So pretty much you can say they're valid stories. Okay. So one of the biggest, and the reason is it's not like I'm saying this is the best move that was made. So the order doesn't, I'm not putting them in order of importance to me. Okay. I'm just going to talk about some deals that happened that may change other deals and how people see certain positions, right? So Aaron Rodgers inked a 5-year, well, he didn't ink, that's a bad word, right? I just said he didn't ink it, right? A 4-year deal for I think it was 200 million. So it's 50 million a year. I think it was 153 guaranteed. Okay. That's a big deal, right? And that's good for him. I guess it's good for Green Bay. That's fine. My only issue is how will Green Bay be able to sign other guys that are essential to their team? How are they going to fill some other needs? That's a big number that you're guaranteeing, and that's a big number you're committing to the quarterback position, right? Now, some people say that it's dangerous for the league for a number like that to be committed to a quarterback because most teams follow suit. I think this is a one-off. I don't think you're going to see multiple players getting this type of deal, right? I think this is a one-off. So I'm not really concerned about that deal per se, because I don't think everyone is going to follow suit. He's not setting the mark. In other words, I think what it is that he's just they are paying him because basically of his history, because of the past. So I'm not looking at other teams putting that kind of number and committing that kind of number to their quarterback. Okay, so that's the deal. Now, in association with that, and this is why I brought it up. The wide receiver Adams, right? So they franchise tagged him, and he's not happy with it. They had to franchise tag him because they don't have the money now to sign him to a long-term deal, right? They have to hope that he will come in with a good attitude to play on that tag, right? He's already said that he's not happy with that. So there's going to be some rumblings that signing of Aaron Rodgers already, in my opinion, is going to cause an issue inside their locker room. Okay. Now, what could also happen because of the tag, if anyone, instead of just letting him go, instead of letting Adams just go hit the free agency market and not get anything in return, what could be happening is that now if anyone wants to sign him, they have to give Green Bay something. It has to be through a trade. Some type of deal has to be done where they receive something for allowing him to walk. Okay, so if that's the case, If that's their play, then I understand, and it's a pretty smart play. Okay, but to sign your quarterback to that type of deal, and then his partner, right, franchise tag him and have him upset, doesn't seem like a smart deal. So I'm going to say, and this is the way I view it, as they are just trying to set it up so they don't just allow him to walk without getting anything in return. So that's why I think that franchise tag was put on him, right? So we'll talk about him later on when I talk about some free agents and what moves is going to be, what certain players I think might be a good fit, or things of that nature. We'll talk about that a little. So we'll put a pin in Adams right now. Another big move, and this was something that was really, really interesting to me because it happened inside my division, right? Russell Wilson, there was a big trade with Denver. He's going to be their starting quarterback, right? Russ is going to Denver Denver's going to receive Russell Wilson, also a 4th rounder. In exchange, Seattle gets 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, a 4th-round pick. This might be a negative. Drew Lock, Shelby Harris, D tackle, and the tight end Fent. Okay, so let's talk about that for a second. There's a lot of things to unpack with that deal. So if you just look at the deal, who won the deal, right? When you trade draft picks, and when we get, I'm gonna do a video later on down the road when it comes to the draft. I'm gonna talk about my Raiders. We had a lot of draft capital the past 3 years, right? And we had some hits, but we had a lot more misses than we had hits. In fact, the players that we acquired through the picks, there's only a few that actually have really worked out. Okay. A lot of the players in those drafts, these recent drafts, that have really made an impact and a part of the future were lower draft picks that we would have already we could have acquired without that trade. So a lot of times people look at those trades and look at the draft capital and look at those those drafts. The upper end of those drafts, we didn't do a good job. Not for what we gave away. Okay, so so when I look at this, I understand that Seattle is getting a lot of draft capital, but it's going to take 2 to 3 years before you see whether or not they won in this deal. Yes, 2 number ones and a number 3, 2 number 3. No, I'm sorry, 2 number ones, 2 number 2s. Right? You just swapped the number 4. Right? The players, like I said, Locke is, I don't know, man. I don't know what they'll do with Locke. I mean, I consider him a bust, right? I don't know a whole lot about Shelby Harris, but and then the tight end, he's a decent tight end. Fant, he's a decent tight end. So, that certainly doesn't qualify as a win for them. We have to see what they do with these draft picks, right? So today, right now, okay, I'm gonna just look at the player, right? And look at how Denver is set up. Denver is set up right now to win. They have all Denver is really missing, in my opinion, is a quality quarterback. They have weapons all over the field. They have a decent line. Russ is going to probably have the best line he's ever had, offensive line he had in his whole career. They may have been 1 or 2 years where he had a decent line, but how many times have we seen him scrambling, running for his life, making plays outside the pocket, undesigned plays outside the pocket. You know, now he's made a career of it. He's done great with it, right? But how many times have we seen it and like, damn, here you go again? You know what I'm saying? So it's just a matter of he's, I think, in a good place. He has a lot of weapons, and we see, man, he does a great job when he has good weapons, right? And Denver has some good weapons. They have a decent defense, right? And now they are going to compete. Now, look, the AFC, this is one of the reasons why this is really affecting me, because, you know, obviously, you know, I'm a Raider fan, right? So our division, the AFC West, you tell me, where's the out? Who has the best quarterback? The Raiders, in my opinion, probably have the worst quarterback. And I'm going to say Carr is definitely in the top 12 in the league. And I would even say there are times I feel like he's in the top 10. And he is now the worst quarterback in the AFC West. That's mind-blowing. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at that, man, that's going to be murderous row. You know, that division is going to be murderous row. So I think that was a very, very good move for Denver. Denver is now really, you know, cemented their place as a contender, not only for the division but for the conference, right? So that was a big move. You know, Aaron Rodgers' move, I think, was big for Green Bay, but for the league and for the what it would mean for the NFL, Russell Wilson going to Denver is probably one of the biggest moves so far in this offseason. That's huge. That was huge. So you know, obviously you might come up, you might say I'm upset or mad. Look, I want competition. And if it means we have to go through a murderous row of a division to say that we're the best, then so be it. That's what you have to do. That's what this league is about. So I'm not upset at all. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a player. You know, a lot of people don't think this. They don't see that in me. They think I'm just all about the Raiders and this and that. I'm about the players. And I think Russ is really going to thrive in this situation, you know? So good for him, you know, good for him. Now, whenever he played my Raiders, I want him to smack him in the mouth. Okay. Don't get me wrong about that, right? But look, competition, I'm not afraid of it. As a Raider fan, I'm not afraid of competition. So yeah, bring it on, man. Bring it on, right? So there were some other moves. Carson Wentz went to the Washington Commanders. I'm not, you know, I'm just throwing that in as something that happened, right? I'm not really worried about that too much. Khalil Mack. Khalil Mack now, we have to face the Mack man, right? Now listen, man. I know he went to the Bears. He was traded to the Bears. But Khalil Mack is always going to be my guy. Man, look, he's always going to be my guy. I'm always a fan of him. Not when he played my team now. Don't get me wrong. Okay. I want him not to succeed when he played the Raiders, right? But I'm a fan of Khalil. I like him as a man. I like the effort that he puts out. And hey, that's you know, as a fan of competition, that's what I desire to see. And he delivers. So I'm a big fan of Khalil Mack, even though he left my Raiders. And, you know, it wasn't anybody's fault. It just was a bad situation. And that's all it was to it. But now he comes to the Chargers, right? And listen, it took us overtime to beat these guys, right? Now they have something else. Listen. I'm not upset about that. Again, I just said it. I love competition. Whoever you put on the field, my Raiders, it's up to us to put up the kind of competition it's going to take that division down. And I always believe in my boys. So bring it on, man. All I can tell you is game on. Game on. Because listen, we signed somebody. We signed the Mac, the other Mac, not the Khalil Mac, but the Max. you might have got the Mac, but we got the Max. You hear what I'm saying? So listen, man. The Raiders made, I think, one of the best moves. We was able to keep Max Crosby, right? The guy said he was going to be a Raider. He wanted to be a Raider, and he was true to his word. We were true to him. And to me, that's a great sign that we're going to go in the right direction with this team, okay? I'm going to get to the Raiders a little bit later. I just want to cover some things with the league because I want to focus on my Raiders and those moves a little bit later. And again, the chat room, guys, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for your support. I'm going to read some of the comments here in a little bit. But, yeah, we are not shying away from competition, okay? The AFC West is going to be probably the most competition, the most fierce competition in the league. And all I can tell you, and I'm going to be saying this for the whole offseason, bring it on. Bring it on, baby. Okay? Bring it on. So let me cover a couple other things, and then we'll get to some of these free agents and what the Raiders may need and some other things. Another guy, just because he was a Raider, I'll mention him. But what's your boy, the wide receiver? Cooper went over to the Browns. I'm glad there was some noise that he might come back to the Raiders. I really wasn't interested in him coming back. I was a fan of him when he was with us, but you know, I'm not saying he's a bad wide receiver. He's a good wide receiver, right? But I think we need something different. And I think when we get to some of the guys, there's some guys in free agents that I think are a lot better choices. So I'm glad we didn't make that move. So hope he has success with the Browns. I don't know who's going to throw to him because they don't have a quarterback. I don't care what y'all say. Browns don't have a quarterback. So, yeah, I'm talking junk, but they don't. Tell me who their quarterback is. Okay, so listen. I want to talk about a few things. And the reason why I'm going to bring these guys up because, well, you'll see as the conversation goes, you'll see why I'm going to bring them up. So Deshaun Watson, right? Deshaun Watson was cleared of any criminal charges. The grand jury did not pursue charges against him. They did not file charges. So criminally, he's good, right? There may still be a civil suit. We'll see about that. In my opinion, I've said it earlier, I think this whole thing was bogus. I think the whole thing was to restrict his movement because he was unhappy. He stated around this time last year, it was about a year ago, right? He stated that he wanted to move on. And this was the Browns. Thank you, Brownies. The Brownies, exactly. I think this whole thing was really a ploy to stop his movement, right? And it worked. It cost him a whole year of his career, right? So now the league may take some action, but you know, the league sometimes I feel oversteps in these matters, right? If the guy doesn't have any criminal charges that he's facing now, right? What justification do they have to suspend him? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I understand that you want to protect the shield and you want all this honor, and you want to have you want to be in the right side of the story and all this stuff. Listen, man, if the guy, if there were no criminal charges brought against the guy, explain to me what has he done to justify you suspending him? That's a simple question. And I would like that question to be answered. A lot of people are just waiting for the suspension to occur. My question is, if he has not been charged, in essence, what you're telling me, if the league suspends him, what the league is telling me, a rumor, if you say I do something, then the league is going to believe what I say and going to suspend a player. Is that fair? That's my question. Because in essence, that's what we have here now. Now, if he had settled out of court, then that indicates that there was something there, right? And okay, I want to keep it hush hush, or I don't want the details to come out, or whatever. He from the very beginning, he said, this is not a true story. I wasn't involved in this. Just because they were able to get all these women to come up with a story doesn't make it valid. I could find 50 people to lie for me. Okay, let's just let's just keep it real. Okay, so a whole year has gone by. All this investigation has occurred, right? So if no charges after a year of investigating, how can the league justify? That's all I'm saying. Now listen, I don't know if he's innocent or not. All I'm saying is what the facts are now. All year we were dealing with rumor. Now we have some facts. The fact remains, this guy is not being charged with he's not facing criminal charges anymore. So how do you suspend him? Now, Raider fans, I have a question for you. All right. I am a Carr fan. Okay. I've defended him on multiple occasions. I think that I love his commitment to the team. I love the way I love his play. Okay. I think a lot of his shortcomings is our offensive line play and the lack of available weapons. Okay. He deals with a lot. Coaching going in and out, right? So he hasn't had the stable environment or situation to really thrive. And he's still, in my opinion, you're not going to argue that he's not in the top 12 in the league at quarterback. I'm going to tell you, I feel he's in the top 10. Okay. So with all the adversity that he's dealt with through his career, he's remained at the top 10, in my opinion, at that position. So the question is, if the Raiders had an opportunity to acquire Deshaun Watson, should they do it? My answer is yes. My answer is yes. As much as I love Carr, right? I love him as a man. I love the way he's a family man. I love his values. I love the way he's a leader on this. He leads this team. I love the leadership he gives to this team, right? I love his play. He throws some of the best deep balls in the league, right? And just the way he works. If you notice, when people come to the Raiders, when wide receivers come to the Raiders, it seems like that energy between he and the wide receivers just builds. They seem to always have a good relationship. And I think that is because of the type of man he is. That's what I feel, right? So with all that being said, if we had a chance to get Deshaun Watson, I would do it. I would do it. That guy is special. he has something that a lot of teams would have a problem defending. We saw what he did with with a decent Texans team a few years ago, right? Now the last year he was there, they had a lot of issues and it just wasn't a very good team and they struggled. But just think about, let's go back 3 years, 4 years ago. That guy was special. He was very, very special. He's young. He's still very young. And the current contract he's under, now I don't know that number would be affected through a trade, but he has a very friendly cap number, considering, to me, I would consider him in the top 6 in the quarterback position, top 5, to be honest with you, right? With the proper weapons, right? I would consider him the top 5, right? So at that cap number, it would be very, very cap friendly, right? We can build around that number. So would I take him as a replacement to Carr? Yes, I would. I would. And this is one of the reasons why I'm a Raider fan, because my next comment, and a lot of Raider fans are going to agree with me. If the great Al Davis was alive and well and running this team, Deshaun Watson would definitely be on our radar. No shadow of a doubt. No shadow of a doubt. I couldn't see it's that situation is tailor-made for Al Davis, and that's why I love the guy. He thought outside the box, and he looked at a player for what the player was, not for what people are telling everyone what the player is. And that's what I loved about him. And I think that's why a lot of Raider fans loved Al, because that type of move he would make. He would definitely make that type of a move. So, yeah, man, that's something I really would have loved to have seen. And if this happens, if it does happen, I would be on board. I would definitely be on board. Regardless, let's keep it real. If Deshaun Watson winds up with a good team, I'll be happy for him. I want that young man's career to flourish, because I hate to see people I hate to see a career sidetracked for foolishness, right? I hate that. If you are a good player, if you are a great player, I want to see you have the opportunity to flourish. Now, I would love for you to flourish with with my boys, okay? I would love for that to occur. But the bottom line, I believe in people, right? And I would love to see this young man flourish, because he deserves it. He really does. He worked hard, and I don't want nonsense to derail his career. And so that's the part of this story that I'm very, very happy about. I really, I'm happy about that. So some of the other little moves that I wanted to mention, I talked about Max. Max got a 4-year deal on $98 million. Who was it else I wanted to talk about? For my Atlanta fans, you look like you're gonna be stuck with Ryan. Ryan restructured his contract to stay there even longer. I laugh, guys, because I got some Atlanta people, some Atlanta friends that they don't like Ryan. I like to needle them every time. So your boy restructured his contract. See, it should have been done last year. Last year you should have cut him, right? But you didn't, right? Now you're stuck with him. It's so funny, man. Right now, you should be looking at you had four quarterbacks, four quality quarterbacks on the board last year, and you didn't take advantage of that opportunity. Now you stuck with Oh man. Oh boy. Okay. All right. That's the one thing I wanted to mention. Oh, that's so funny. That is so funny. So let's um let's talk about some of the stuff that has happened with the Raiders. Okay. This off season is going to be very important. So I want to start with I'm not going to go through all the coaches that we hired, right? I'm just going to talk about them in general, okay? Just talk about the offensive side, defensive side, and special teams, right? And I'm just going to give a simple grade in our front office, right? So I have to admit, right? Initially, I was not on board with our hiring of our general manager and our head coach. Initially, I was not on board. After I thought about it for a minute, I think this is going to be a good thing for us. Okay. One thing that I love, these guys are extremely close. They have a certain connection that I think is going to be important to advance this team in the right direction. Okay. One of the things I think with our past regime, and we ain't gonna go over the names, I don't even want to mention their names, right? We know now there was some disagreements, right? Some of the things with these first round draft picks, right? We're starting to hear now, and we go ahead and say Gruden really forced Mayock's hand with some of these picks, right? So they wasn't on the same page. We thought they gave us the image that they was on the same page, right? But they wasn't on the same page. So what I love about the choices we made is that we actually got two guys that are on the same page. They're going to be pulling in the same in the right direction, in the same direction. Whether it's right or not, we'll find out, right? But at least they're pulling in the same direction, right? And we have some actual roles that are actually defined. Our general manager has stated he is in charge. And I love that. We need someone that's going to take the lead. And instead of having your head coach do that, I think it's more beneficial to have your general manager do that. Your head coach could have input and say what direction I want to take this team, what player I feel is best to fit that need. And then the GM goes out and find that player, right? Either through free agency, draft, whatever, right? Trades, whatever it is, right? And they're on the same page. That I love. I truly, truly love. Another thing I have to admit that I wasn't thinking about at the beginning, and it's because of the Patriots. I'm gonna just be totally honest with you. I'm a human being, and sometimes I let my biases, I let my feelings get in the way of my thoughts. Okay, they drive my thoughts sometimes, and that's what happened. Right? I do not like New England. I do not like the Patriots. Okay, I hate to say the Patriots, period. It's just hard for that word to even come out of my mouth. Okay. So anything Patriot, I'm like, I don't want to deal with that. Right. That's not a good way of looking at things. You have to evaluate things for what they are. Right. So the fact that these guys come from a winning organization. Now I don't dislike Belichick. I think Belichick is a good coach. I think he's one of the best coaches we've had, right, in the league, right. He runs a great organization, right. He's that situation. I think has a lot to do with player movement and player personnel, and he's a head coach that works because of what type of his evaluation skills, right. So that's like a one. That I don't think I'm not gonna say he's a one-off because I think there are other coaches that have that ability, but I prefer that ability to come from my GM. But in that case, he makes a lot of those decisions, right? He they both are coming from his family tree, if that's what you want to call it, right? Um, Now you can say Daniels had an opportunity over in Denver, and he fell flat on his face, and he did. He didn't do a good job. But a lot of times, and he has stated this, uh, maybe it was a little too soon. Maybe it wasn't a good situation. Maybe he wasn't ready. Right? A lot of times, you learn from your mistakes. You learn from the things you did wrong in the first opportunity, and it may be to our benefit, you know. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that plays out. I love their connection. I love the way their vision, right? Let's see how that. I really want to give these guys an opportunity, a fair opportunity, right? Because I think they can do something special. I really do. So I love that. And feeding off of that, some of the hiring they did, I'm truly on board. Okay. I love the defensive coordinator, Graham. I love that guy. I think he's going to really, really. Now, I have to admit, I'm a little concerned because we're going from one scheme to a total different scheme. And a lot of the players that we had last year fit the scheme that we were running. So now, how are some of our young guys are going to fit in this new scheme? That's going to be the biggest question. I think we took a big leap forward this year defensively versus last year. This year, we did a very good job taking a nice step forward, right? And I think a lot of it was because of the scheme. And the players fit that scheme. Now you have a new regime, you have a new scheme. How well are the players that we currently have are going to play into this new scheme? Okay, so that's going to be a big question. But I like the hiring of Graham. I really do. Some of the his assistants that he hired, I'm not going to go through all their names. I really, really like offensively, right? Daniels is pretty much going to run the offense, right? Some of his guys that he hired as position coaches, I like. I'm not going to go through all the names. That'd take all day. And I want to get to some other stuff, but I'm really on board on both sides. Offensively, the staff that we have compiled. Defensively, I'm really happy with what we have compiled. Like I said, I'm a little concerned about how well the player mix is going to be, how well the players we have are going to fit in the scheme that we're going to run. That's my only concern. But I like the hire in general. My only question mark is in the hiring of this staff, what the hell are we thinking bringing on that cat as special teams? Thank you. Man, what were we thinking about this special teams guy? This guy, Lord have mercy. We went from one of the best special team coaches to that old term, sugar to shit. Let's be honest, man. We went from sugar to shit. But let's just hope. Now, one of the good things about our special teams, we have quality players. We have a Pro Bowl punter, right? We have one of the clutches. Look, man, I know Baltimore has that guy. I know. All right, fine. We have a kicker that I will take every freaking day. You hear me? I'm so proud of our kicker. So I'm hoping he just doesn't screw up what we have. Don't screw our guys up, please, man, please. Just sit there and hold a clipboard, right? So listen, man. I like the staff, despite our special teams hiring, but I like the staff we compiled. I think time will tell, right? But I'm excited. I'm truly excited. I know that, you know, um, it's going to be some growing pains. I just hope that we don't take a step back, a big step back, because I feel the Raiders, I feel my boys, if we put together some of the players, if we can get some of these players, these free agent players, right? If we can fill some of these holes that we have, we're going to be right back in the playoffs. And I mean a nice run in the playoffs, not just one and done. We're on that, we're on the verge. And I hope that this new regime doesn't take us a step back. And I feel a lot better because when I first heard the hire, I'm like, man, here we go, rebuilding, starting from scratch. It's going to be 2-3 years before we get back in the playoffs. But after I thought about it, I've changed my mind, and I do feel that we have the opportunity, and we'll see in the next few months exactly what type of team this team is going, the staff is going to build. And I'm extremely optimistic. Okay, so let's just go through some of the. I'm not going to go through everybody. I'm just going to go through some of the things that we need to address. Now, Max was one of the biggest things I wanted done. I wanted Max Crosby signed, and I think that was a huge indicator of how the direction of this team. Right? If we would have let Max go and not sign him, right? Now he wasn't going anywhere. He still had another year, I think. He had another year. So, but not making him a priority, not taking care of him would not have been a good sign. Okay, would not have been a good sign. So I'm glad we took care of that. All right. One of the other things I was concerned about was our linebacker position, right? So Corey Littleton, man, I tell you, we were really caught in between a rock and a hard place with Corey Littleton, right? They made a tough choice. Corey has not filled the expectations we had when we signed him. Okay, he really hasn't, right? He's been a liability in the passing game. He has been okay, just okay, right, in the running game. So he has not fulfilled what we was anticipating, right, when we signed him. And because we restructured his contract last year, the hit this year and next year, and really cutting him this year freed up some money, but we're going to take another hit next year. That was a hard choice. It's a good indication about the balls that this organization has right now. We made that cut. We made a hard decision, and hey, I'm good with it because Corey Littleton, listen, man, he was not what we thought he was going to be, right? The next question I have, and there's really two guys. We only have one more cut we can make, right? And there's two guys that we got to consider, right? Nick Work. I ain't gonna even try his last name. Nick, the linebacker. You know who we're talking about. Another guy he did not come in and fulfill the needs that we needed at linebacker, right? He's a huge liability in the passing game, right? And again, he's okay in the running game as a run stopper. He's just simply okay, right? His play doesn't match his contract by no stretch of imagination, right? So I'm looking for that probably be the next cut. I'm thinking that's going to be the next one. I'm not sure, but I'm thinking that might be. So we're going to need some help at linebacker, right? So that's a position at free agency we're going to have to address. There's some nice guys. There's a guy. I'm gonna go ahead and say his name out now. I'm gonna go with the free agents later on. I really wanted to get on some Raider stuff, but since I'm thinking about it and I don't want to forget it, which I probably won't, I like Hightower. I would love to bring Hightower on to this team. I really would. I think he would be a good fit, and so I'm looking for that move. Because listen, some people, I've heard some people say, oh, we don't need a linebacker. We need a linebacker. We may need a couple of linebackers. Okay. Might have to address another one in the draft, but I think we're going to need a quality linebacker in free agency, and then perhaps get another one in the draft. Okay. So let's keep that in mind. Let's keep that in mind. Okay. So, Raiders free agencies are free agent guys that we need to look at. Peyton Barber. I mean, that's running back. I mean, I think he was just brought in as an emergency situation. We probably won't be re-signing him. Tight end Derek Carrier. I really would like to re-sign him. I think we have two of the best. And another guy that we really have to consider is can't think of his name right now. Can't believe I can't think of his name right now. Oh man, wow. I'm sorry, guys. Anyway, you guys know what I'm talking about. Derek Waller. I don't know why I had a brain fart just then. Anyway, so that's another guy that we need to because he might even there's rumors he might sit out, right? He has a new agent. He definitely wants a raise. He deserves it. I think he's top 3 in the league at tight ends, right? He deserves a raise. So Waller is definitely someone we have to address at some point in this offseason. So even if we do sign him, I still would like to bring Carrier back because it's such a luxury to have 2 very, very quality tight ends. That's a luxury I would like for us to continue to have, right? And we know that Daniels loves tight ends, right? So I think that's going to be a high priority. So I think Carrier is coming back. Faison, the cornerback, he's going to probably be coming back. We could probably get him at a good deal. Let's see who else that we really need to address. Now, this guy right here, I hope we can bring him back because I think he'd be a good fit in this the new scheme. Jefferson, Quentin Jefferson, he played very well for us last year, and I think we can bring him back. Although he might want a nice number because he's maybe a little on the other side of his prime, right? So he may want that payday, right? And someone might see the value in him. So we might not be able to get the type of contract, a team-friendly contract we would need. So I really would love to bring him back, but we might have to let him go. But I would love to bring him back. Jones, the wide receiver, I would love to bring him back. Not as a starter, but man, he's one of the best number 4 wide receivers in the league. Look, man, Jones saved us this year, and I really would like to bring him back. Okay, not as a number 1 now, not as a number 2. Okay, but I would like to. I would love for him to be on our team. Okay, a guy that's interesting, man, Marquette Lee, right? So, Raider fans, 2 years ago, the guy, really shined, right? Was one of our best, he was one of our best defensive players, period, right? And then last year, he just got lost in the mix. And he just, I don't know, man. That to me that's a very interesting situation. Is he the guy that we saw 2 years ago? Was it just that he couldn't find his way on the field because of the competition? Because we tried to make some of the guys, the free agents that we signed, shine and give them opportunities? Because that's a big mystery. How does a guy that played so well 2 years ago, and a young guy, we're not talking about an older guy that just got old and he just don't have it anymore. This guy is going into the best player that he's going to be. Now, whatever that player is, I don't know. I'm not on the practice field. I'm just going off of what I saw on film. 2 years ago, Marquette Lee, man, he was the man, right? And I thought he had a great future on our team. Linebacker, like I just stated, that's something we have to address, right? Do we let this guy go? What does he want as far as a contract? He had no significant playing time last year. Okay. So he can't be wanting the world. You can't put on tape 2 years ago and say, this is what I can do. Hey, man, what did you do? Okay. So can we bring him back? And is he going to fit this scheme? Is he the player he was 2 years ago? That's a big question mark. I'm wondering about that guy. I really am. Okay. Marcus Mariota, another guy I would love to bring back, but he has to come back at a good number. We can't pay him what we paid him the last few years. Okay. So if he comes back at a good number, I will be happy with signing him. But if not, we have to move on. We can't commit that kind of money to a backup quarterback. Okay. We have to either address our backup through the draft, or we have to get someone else at a better number. That's just the bottom line. Okay. Martin, the center, he's going to be gone. Man, I was looking defensive tackle, McCoy. Man, I was so upset to see him get hurt. My expectations for him last year was through the roof, man. I thought he was going to be a dominant figure on our defensive line. Got hurt. And, after that injury, you got to figure, that was probably his. He may come back with someone else, but I doubt if he's on our team, right? But I don't know, right? Another guy, let's see, Brandon Parker. Okay. If we go into this season and Parker is on the team, I would be okay providing we address or we assign him to his proper position. Back up to the backup. Now, let me stop. It's only a joke, man. It's only a joke. But he should not be our starting right tackle. Okay. I'm just going to be real with you. Okay. He should not. All right. So I'm just going to say he's a quality backup, but let's recognize what he is and understand that's what he is. All right. If he's not on the team, it's not going to truly hurt my feelings. Okay. We need to address that right tackle. We're going to talk about some guys that I would really love for us to sign. But if he's our backup, I'm okay with it. Please, let's not go into this season as Parker being our right tackle, starting right tackle. Please, I beg you guys, let's not have that occur. Okay? Let's not have that occur. Okay? Let's see who else who I really would like to talk about here. There's some other guys. I'm not going through everybody, guys. I'm just going through some guys that I really want to address and talk about. So another guy, defensive tackle, Solomon Thomas. So what we ran last year, he didn't really shine. He had some nice plays. He had some nice spots. He certainly wasn't a bust. He certainly wasn't a bad signing. He made some contributions, right? But he wasn't the guy I thought he was going to be. I thought he was going to be a dominant force, and he wasn't quite that, right? But I feel we're going to be playing a 3-4. He might be a nice backup. I think we need someone dominant in that center, that's going to secure that center part of that line, that a true nose tackle. We need a true nose tackle, right? But Thomas could actually be a swing guy. In a 3-4, I think he would be a nice guy as a backup and as even a filler as a nose tackle. All right. So if he comes in at a good number, I think we can get him at a better number than we can get Jefferson. I think Jefferson played much better. He has much better tape, and it's going to be very difficult to get him. And then Jefferson, I don't see Jefferson as a true tackle nose tackle, right? Nose guard. I'm sorry, guys. Getting tongue tied with my positions here. But that position, you need somebody that's going to secure that line, that's going to demand a double team, right? And get that push in the center. Jefferson is more of a 4-3 guy, right? And he's going to want a nice payday, right? So I would prefer Thomas, to be honest with you. If we're going to keep one of the two, I would prefer Solomon Thomas because I think he fits that 3-4 better than Jefferson would, right? So that's just my opinion about it, right? So that's to me, that's the biggest glaring guys on our team that we need to address. So let's talk about some guys that might be available that we could bring in, right? And I think there's two positions that we must focus on, the two biggest positions, right? I think right tackle, offensive tackle, is probably one of the biggest positions that we need to address. We need a solid guy, right? I'm not saying break the bank on this guy, but we need somebody that we can say, this is our guy, and we ain't got to worry about it. Okay. So the person I would like the most, this is who I feel the most. Morgan Moss from he played with the Jets. I don't know if we can afford it. I think he's going to want a lot of money. Okay. That's one of the guys that you really would like to have, but can you afford it? Do you want to commit the financial resources to get him? Right. That's the biggest question mark. So I don't think he's going to be the guy that we really, really can probably get. Right. There's a couple other guys, but the guy I really want to look at is how you pronounce that? Lucas out of Washington, right? I think that might be the guy because I think he's going to come in at a decent number, right? He's a solid right tackle, and that might be the guy we can get. Okay. There's some other guys, Brandon Shell out of Seattle, another guy that would be nice to have. But I don't know, man. I think the guy out of Washington, I think he might be someone we can really target and look at. So I think that that's the guy we should target. I promise you, man, I would love to bring Moss in, right? But I don't know if we're gonna be able to afford it. I just don't see it. I kind of don't see it. You know, offensive tackles, man, they are when it's time for them to get paid, they want that payday. So I just don't see us affording that guy. But if there's some way of bringing him in, man, that's the guy I would really love. So the other position I think we really need to address in free agency is wide receiver. So I'm going to tell you the guy I really would like, the guy I think we should really target, not my wish list, right? But the guy we really should target. And I've said it in the past, and I'll say it again. It's not because I'm just an LSU guy, right? Thank you. DJ Chark. That's my man. Listen, guy, this guy has everything we would need. He has the speed. He has the size. He has everything you need for what we need on our team. We already have a slot guy, right? Waller is a great underneath route runner. He's a great mismatch. He would demand that safety to pay attention to him. DJ would thrive in this offense. With Carr throwing him the ball, he would thrive. He has the size. He is competitive for those 50-50 balls. And he has the speed to stretch the field. That's my guy. And he's not going to break the bank. Now, if we was playing Madden, right? You know who I would get if we was playing Madden, right? We all know. There's a guy in Green Bay that has a franchise tag on it right now. You know that's the guy, right? This is not Madden. We have to think about realistic possibilities. And that's not a realistic possibility. Okay? It's just not. Guys, I would love to have him on our team. Please don't get me wrong. That's not realistic. And I'm dealing with reality. DJ is the man. I'm telling you, man, that's the guy I want to target. All right. I said it a long time ago. People didn't want to hear me, right? Please, man, please target that young man. And he's still young. He's going into his prime, man. He's going into his prime. Just imagine 5 years of him and Carr, that connection. Oh, man, I see. Oh, bring me chills. Anyway, so that's the guy I would love to have. There's a couple other guys that are going to be available, but we could talk about them. Let me pull them up here. He's the one that I really want, though. There's a few other guys. So Adams, you're gonna have to trade to get Adams. Also, Chris Goodwin, that's another guy that's been tagged. He would need a trade. Robinson, I think Robinson is another guy I would love to have. But if you tell me, if you give me a choice, Robinson or Chark, I'm going to take Chark. Okay. I don't even want to talk about OBJ. OBJ, I hope he has a successful recovery from his injury. I love OBJ. Again, I'm an LSU guy, but it's just not that. I think the guy gets a bad rap at times. Look at what he did with the Rams this past season. I think that's the guy he is. Okay. All the other stuff that happened with the Browns. Look, man, the Brownies bring out the worst in you. They're the Brownies. Okay. So that's but that's, and I the price tag, no, I don't want to touch that. Another guy, Juju. So Juju has ties with California, with Oakland, right? I think he even stated he's a fan, but what he's going to want, what he's going to demand, I don't think is worth it. Okay. And like I said, I think we have some better options, even though he has been talked about a lot, but I think we have better options. Kirk, he played with the Cardinals. Another guy would be nice, but I just see, look, man, we can go down this list. I just see, I just see better guys at the top end that we can actually get. I think DJ is the guy. I really do. Another guy that I really wouldn't mind us targeting is Fuller, Will Fuller. I don't see him as a number 2. I mean, as a number 1, but I see him as a quality number 2. If you can get him at a good price, he has to come in at a very good price, right? He would be nice to have on our team also. Okay, he would be very nice to have on our team. So that's the guys I'm looking at. But I don't want it to be lost in this conversation. I want DJ. Bottom line. So another position that we need to talk about is cornerback, right? So I don't know, man. I don't want to overpay for the guy, but boy, J.C. Jackson played for those Patriots, right? That would be my guy. If we can get that guy to come in at a decent number, he has a relationship with Daniels, and that's my guy. I would love to see him on this team, right? I really would, right? He would be the number one guy. Hopefully, Mullen would come off his injury and be our number two. Um, that would be a nice team. That would be a nice tandem, right? Is it pie in the sky? Am I just wishing for it? Yeah, I'm wishing for it. But look, man, it can happen. And I really wish that can happen. Jackson would truly be our answer. He's still young, and boy, he's so competitive, man. I'm not saying he's just a automatic shutdown. No one could do anything with him. But listen, man, I would love to have him on the island and just let him do his thing. Let him do his thing. So that's my number one guy. Gilmore is another option. Davis from Tampa Bay, he's another quality guy. So that's my top three. They're the top three on everyone's list, and I just don't disagree with that, right? Some things that I would really question or wonder. Some interesting guys. I don't know if they will be available. I'm not sure what their status is going to be, what they're looking for, right? But the Honey Badger, right? He's going to be a free agent. He still has something left. He's very competitive. And what I like about him is that he's played safety for the most part. He's pretty much looked as a safety, right? But he can play that slot, cover tight ends, I should say, right? Oh man, I would love to draft Gardner. That would be nice. That would be nice. Man, could you imagine? Because look, there's been a lot of people talking about Deuce Staley dropping. Could he drop to us? I doubt it. Seriously, right? But that would be nice too. So yeah, Gardner, he would be very, very nice, right? Yeah, 6'1". Yes, that would be very nice. But question mark, man, how you guys would feel about Honey Badger? I think he would be a very good addition to this team. If he can come in, he'd be very versatile. He can cover tight ends. Just knowing him, knowing his history, right? Again, I know a little bit about him because he played at LSU, and I'm a big LSU guy, and I followed his career. He's a great teammate. He brings a lot of value to the team, right? So I don't know how attached he is to KC, but hey, also taking him off of KC would be nice too. So yeah, they probably will pay him, right? But let's just see what happens. But if that's a possibility, I wouldn't mind having him. There was another cat I wanted to talk about that what you guys thought about. Let's see. I had him here. Reed. What do you guys think about Reed? Bringing Reed over. I don't know, man. I think he might be a good addition also. And the reason why I say that is because he's like I don't know, man. He's something like the Honey Badger, right? He plays that rover position, right? And I don't know, just an idea, just a thought, right? Just a thought, right? So I don't know, man. I'm just going to stay on the top end of my wish list when it comes to secondary. I really would love for us to bring in Jackson. Gilmore would be nice, and Davis. Top three guys. Let's try to get one of those guys, and let's hope that we are able to get somebody in the draft also, and let's hope Mullen comes off his injury and plays and continue the path, the trajectory of his career, because he was on a nice trajectory, right? But let's hope he's not a lost cause, right? So that's the moves I look for us to make. Again, just to wrap it up, I love our coaching staff. I want to give us a chance. I think we have opportunity. We're on the verge. I love what we did with Max Crosby. I think that was a great sign, right? The next sign I'm looking for is Waller. What are we going to do with Waller, right? And then also, again, the other deal we have to deal with is what we're going to do with Carr, right? I made a video and I said what I felt we should do with Carr, and I still kind of feel that way. Carr has one more year for $19 million. We actually made Carr one of the highest. I think he was the highest paid. So Carr got a payday already, right? What do you guys feel about the theory of guaranteeing his $19 million, promising him that we're going to franchise tag him next year, right? Or even extending him next year for like a $30 million deal, 3 years, average of $30 million. What you guys think about that, right? I think the main thing, right, is that we can't overpay. We can't give Carr $40 million. We give Carr $40 million, it's going to hamper our growth. It's going to hamper our growth. So that's going to be one of the biggest question marks going forward, right? How we deal with Carr. Carr has stated, we all know, Carr has stated he wants to be a Raider for life. And I love that. Hey guys, let's hold him, let's hold his feet to the fire. All right. If you want to be a Raider for life, play on your 19, we'll guarantee it. Give us the opportunity to bring you in some quality. Let's give us the opportunity to bring you in that quality defensive tackle. Okay. I mean, right tackle. Okay. To protect you. Give us the opportunity to give you that quality number one guy and a number two, because I think we need two, right? Give us the opportunity to give you a quality defense and secure the center of that line. We need a D tackle, okay? We need to address the linebackers. Every level of that defense needs to be addressed, okay? We got some quality guys last year. The last few years, we've had some quality additions to our defense. Last year, we made a great step forward. There's still some needs that needs to be addressed. If you demand $40 million, you're going to hamper this team from making those needs, to addressing those needs. That's my prayer to him. Give us the opportunity to build this team. Because if we pay you $40 million, we're not going to have the opportunity. Okay? So, guys, listen. I'm in this video. I'm going to try to do another one before the draft. Well, before free agency. Once free agency start, look for me to do some videos talking about the signings. Hopefully, we can make some of the moves I talked about. And hopefully, we can make some additions that's going to put this team, keep us in the right trajectory. We are a playoff team, and I want to keep us there. I don't want this to be 1 and 5 years from now, we're talking about going back to the playoffs. We need to be a playoff team consistently. We have that type of team, and you guys know it. So let's just hope that this organization keeps us on that path, right? So, guys, I appreciate your time. I appreciate your support. I really, really do. Look for those videos. I'm going to be doing some more gun stuff coming here. I haven't got lost on that. That's also coming. Just hang with your boy, right? Leave your comments on this video. Hit that thumbs up. Helps the algorithm. And guys, I'm in my video like I always do, guys. Guys, love each other. Take care of each other. And guys, be blessed. Raider Kev is out. Peace. Raiders. Yeah, baby. I'm out. Y'all have a good evening.